So today we will start with Nectar of Instruction. I hope the Chata Goswami Katha and understanding of how grave their their involvement and they have given us. I hope we have understood that. And with that, we will start. So before we start with anything, am I sharing this preface?
Yeah.
Yes, Mata, you can see.
So whoever can read, can you please raise your hand? So I will just call out your name. Because I guess Rakesh Prabhu is in a transit, so he's in the airport. Manipushita Mathaji, you and Raghuvanshi Prabhu, right? We three are there, right, to read?
What is this, Mataji, from Nectar of Instruction book?
Oh yes, this is from Nectar of Instruction
Okay,
preface.
okay. Then I can open my book and read.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm on mobile. My laptop is still getting restarted.
Okay.
So you want me to read the preface?
Yeah.
Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the six Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakura has sung Rupa Raghunatha Pade Ha Hebe Akuti Ka Kabe Hama Bujha se Yugalap Piriti. You want me to read also that?
Now, so I just want to go quickly through the preface before we step on to Nectar of Instruction, text number 1. So, how important it is for us to understand that these followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is six Goswamis, and their understanding their urges of providing us this literature. So, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Habe Akuti Kabe Hama Bujabe She Jugala Priti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affair of Radha and Krishna. Because Radha and Krishna, their transcendental relationship was unaware to people in general on that age. As we know in even Bhagavad Gita, over a period of time, Shri Krishna says, over a period of time, this knowledge has been deferred and it has been broken down and made, people have made their own concoctions about it. So the essence over a period of time has been lost after Shri Krishna has left the world. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to bring it back, that Jugala Priti, that Radha Krishna's loving affair. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the signs of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Even now, when we have got the right sources to understand this Jugala Priti, people are still mocking it. People are still not understanding it. People are making fun and they are not able to understand this Radha and Krishna's loving affair. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the best of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must seriously follow in the footsteps of six Goswamis, Srila Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta, Bhatta Raghunatha, Sri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunatha. Would anyone like to read the next para?
Can I, Mataji?
Yes, please, Mathaji.
Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadeshamrita, the nectar of instruction, to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Sikshastakam, Rupa Goswami gave us Upadeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. Can I next
Continue.
para? Uh, in all spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advancement in spiritual life. Everyone within this material world is uh, uh, engaged in the what is that mother?
Sorry, I was just listening to you.
No, Mataji, like I'm not able to see that.
engrossed in the modes of
Okay. In the
passion
moods of passion, in the modes of passion. One second. In the
and ignorance.
I missed the okay. And the modes of passion and ignorance, one must pers,
From
Promote.
promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattvaguna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In the Vrindavana, this is the title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses, and Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, uh, become a Goswami. Okay, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vida
Govinda Madhava and Lalita Madhava, but Upadeshamrita constitutes the first instruction for neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly, then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's Hare Krishna. I was not able to see the. I don't know.
Is
It
it too
was
small?
not clear.
That's why.
Yeah, Mati, it's not clear.
Okay.
Words are not clear. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So I hope I don't have to break it down. You all are able to follow it. To understand nectar of instruction, we have to be at least in a mode of goodness. There's no chance of passion and ignorance. Because passion and ignorance, the thought in the passion and ignorance will not help us to understand the shlokas which are coming now. So, nectar of instruction, shloka number 1. वाचो वेगं मनसक्रोधवेगं जिह्वावेगं मुदरोपस्थवेगं एतान् तान्यो विषयेत धीरः सर्वामपि मां पृथिवीं सशिष्यात्. So we'll go the word by word translation. Vacha means to speak. So there are what Rupa Goswami is saying, there are different urges in our body which let us to drive an activity or let us to think in certain way. And these speed, the vega, are actually generated by mind and are actually delivered by the senses. So what are those senses? They are vacha, manasa, jivha, Udarapasta. So there are 5 different senses which has these speed of speech, thinking, anger. Tongue is to speak or eat, and the udarapasta is the belly and genitals, both together. All these have an urge for an activity. And this shloka, the first shloka in Upadeshamrita, which Rupa Goswami is telling us, we have to be very careful in maintaining these Vegas, because when something comes at a speed, it's very hard to control it, right? We all drive cars, so it's easy to put a brake on a car which is going slow. Like we see the red light and you slow down and then you put a brake. But all of a sudden, the car in front of us stops. You don't know why. And when you put a harsh brake, it is actually quite damaging to even the car itself, people sitting inside, to them itself. So this Vega, even in our body, has that damaging capacity. So we'll read now the translation. A sober person who can tolerate the urges. Now, these Vegas comes from the urge. The urge comes from the mind. So a sober person who can tolerate the urges to speak, the mind's demand, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, genital, is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Now I will be flicking from one slide to another. In our previous class, the introduction, I have brought it till here. So if you all remember how we went, that how nectar of instruction is important in Bhakti Shastri. Bhakti Shastri has 4 books: Nectar of Instruction and Devotion, which are given to us by Srila Prabhupada. Basically, they are the literatures by the Shata Goswamis, which is Rupa Goswami. They are the practical understanding of the philosophy, and the philosophy mostly liked by common people, though they don't understand, but they love it. If we say that Bhagavad Gita, we have Bhagavad Gita in our curriculum, we have Isha Upanishad in our curriculum, they will be very attracted. Oh yeah, good. Those 2 books are basically philosophical understanding. And to understand philosophy, you need a teacher. And it's hard to understand and it's hard to explain to people that just by having a book of Bhagavad Gita and Isha Upanishad, you don't achieve anything. You need a proper school and school student teacher student relationship environment to understand that. And that understanding is best portrayed, best delivered through nectar of instruction and through devotion, because they are the practical understanding of the philosophy led by Bhagavad Gita and Isha Upanishad. And then how I've just put the pictures based on the breakage of the whole book, which is Nectar of Instruction. There are 11 texts, and the texts are divided as per Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Asakti, Bhava, and last is Prem. I'm going fast because we have already done this. It's the same, but in a simple, like not the Sanskrit version, it's the English and understanding version. Then the disciplic succession, which is number 22, from where we have taken and spent 3 weeks on understanding how the Shata Goswamis have given us their contribution. So we have gone through the history of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Shata Goswami. We have covered the main instruction Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given to the Shata Goswamis, primarily on uncovering Krishna's lost pastime, which is Leela Sthalis, installing deity and deity worship, built temple. So over a period of time with the Mughal invasion, the temples have been destroyed. So it's just the temples have been destroyed, but the practice to worship and go to temple, even that has deteriorated. So bring that back. The Shata Goswami has brought that practice back. They've also given us the scriptures, commentaries. So there are already books written, but for us to understand those books in philosophy, the commentaries are very important too. So commentaries are given by these six Goswamis in a different books. And we have discussed that. I have shared that slide with you all too. Propagate the rules of Bhakti Yoga, basically preaching. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted preaching also one of his main instruction to all the six Goswamis. So we are in the first text. So Bhakti Vinodha Thakur is actually saying this, the urges, how to control these urges. And the best Vaishnava song was Ohe Vaishnava Thakura Daya Karo. That I've just put a link here and it takes you to a YouTube bhajan. Basically, that bhajan is praying to the Lord that I've got so many urges. How can I free myself from those urges? I can also share just the link in our group so you can listen to it. So controlling the six urges is not the same thing as suppression of desire or emotions. It's sublimitation. So there are two ways we can control our senses. One is to suppress them. So yes, I have got this desire to eat, but I'm not going to eat because I'm following Krishna consciousness, and I will not eat. Say, suppose I have this urge to eat something which is not favorable in Krishna consciousness, so I'm suppressing it. But what Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, and even for that sect, Prabhupada has also mellowed it down that it is hard for us to suppress things because, okay, fine, today I'm suppressing it, but tomorrow I will still have that Vishaya Bhog Pravritti. And if I have that Bhog Pravritti, which everyone has, it's not just one single individual, every human has that Bhoga Pravritti, and that Pravritti will come up sometime when you are going weak. So at the moment, you are quite strong and you are able to suppress it. But over a period of time, that suppression will fade off, and the strong urge, that desire to do something which is unfavorable, will float up, will surface up. So that surfacing down and suppressing something will continue endless. But what Srila Prabhupada is saying, you can overcome this desire and, getting into trap of this vague by sublimiting. Now, it's like a child who wants to carry something always in his hand. So for that sake, he just found a knife on the table, he picked it up and he just wanted to carry it. As a mother will definitely take the knife out because you never know how the child is going to use that knife. You take the knife out, and what's the result you will receive? Screaming, crying, tantrums. Rather than what you do, a smart mother, what she will do is she will take the knife out and she will put a piece of carrot or a cucumber or biscuit or a bread stick, whatever, which is not harmful. The child is happy because he wants to hold something in his hand. He doesn't care whether it's knife or a carrot. By holding a carrot, mother is also happy that my child is not going to hurt himself or hurt someone else. So that carrot is what we need to understand in our life is we want to hang on to those urges. It's not deliberately we are doing or it's not consciously we are doing. This is the nature of human being that we want to hold on to some desires. And it's the desire which is constantly manifesting in our mind. We see something, we want to have that. We smell something, we want to take that. We taste something, we want to have it completely. So sublimiting is to take a lower means of expression and transform into a higher means of expression. Like I'm taking out the knife out of the child's hand, but I'm putting some lower expression by putting a carrot in it. Now that carrot can go in the mouth of the child. And if it goes, which is higher means of expression, which will let that child eat a valuable or a nutritional food. Rather, if a knife would have gone into his mouth, that would have been really disaster. So sublimitation is changing that desire or dovetailing in our ISKCON, the very favorite word, dovetailing it. The dovetailing is like, I have the desire to eat, but I will eat which is favorable to Krishna consciousness. And what is that? At least prasadam. Now, slowly, slowly, I understand that, okay, I'm having too much. I need to understand. I need to reduce. That comes later on. But at this text, we are concentrating on how we move the urges, because these urges are like a speed. It comes in a speed, and how it changes the whole time an activity of an individual, no one knows it. And by the time you know it, it's time for guilty. So rather than suppressing it, like negative, I'm not going to have it, I'm not going to do it, you are not going to take this knife, nothing, sit down. That child is not going to listen to the mother. The child is going to make the life very problematic for the mother and the child himself. So not suppression, but sublimitating. And when we sublimitating it, like, okay, don't hold it, exchange it with carrot. And that will have the desire as it is, holding of something, but that will be an ideal desire. Holding a carrot is an ideal one. Holding the activities of all our senses for the pleasure of Radha Gopinath is the ideal one, rather than suppressing them and eventually it just sprouts out. And that's why we say, no matter how many years I've been chanting, no matter how many years I've been doing devotional service, I still have this unfavorable desire. And I still make mistakes of following those unfavorable desires. That's because we were not able to execute our desires under the dovetailing situation or under the sublimitation situation. We can hear Bhakti Vinoda Thakur's song, because when we hear something, our mind is actually engrossed into that particular hearing process. When we sing that song or when we sing that bhajan, our mind is more active because we're thinking of what's coming up next, what I'm going to sing next. And we are more engrossed in singing and listening than our mind taking us to a negative thought. So the text one, which is talking about how how the mind's demand and actions, how to control the urges. It's also telling us in the purpose, Srila Prabhupada is saying that how Parikshit Maharaj has also asked this question in Srimad Bhagavatam to Sukadev Goswami. So Parikshit Maharaj placed a number of intelligent questions before Sukadev Goswami. One of these questions was, why do people undergo atonement if they cannot control their senses? This question was based on the Canto 5, because Canto 5 was talking about how there are different planets of punishment. So if you do this, you will have that punishment. If you are, if you're lying, you will go to a different planet. If you steal, you will go to a different planet. There are so many different planets of punishment. So jail, as per the activities, as per the crime an individual has done, they have got separate jails. And the jails, the actions in jails, the punishments are really very distressing. So when Parikshit Maharaj heard all those, yes, I understand, someone does a crime, they go through atonement in a jail, punishment, but still that urge to get out of that committing that same mistake doesn't go. Because when you go to jail, you mix with negative people. When you're meeting with negative people, you tend to do more of the negatives rather than becoming positive. So in jail, in today's world, how you see everyone, all the culprits are, under one roof. And when you sit together, you obviously association, you're taking association of all the culprits. So there's no way this punishment and going to jail is going to change someone's life. So Parishad Maharaj is asking Sukadeva Goswami, I understand you have described all these jails and punishment, but that's not going to help an individual to attain a higher understanding because they can't control their senses because it will come back again. For instance, a thief may know perfectly well that he may be arrested for his stealing, and he may actually even see a thief getting arrested by police. But yet, he continues to steal. Experience is gathered by hearing and seeing. One who is less intelligent gathers experience by seeing. One who is more intelligent gathers experience by hearing. When an intelligent person hears from the law book and shastras or scriptures, then stealing is not good and hears that a thief is punished when arrested, he refrains from theft. A less intelligent person may first have to be arrested and then punished for stealing to learn to stop stealing. However, a rascal or foolish man may have the experience of both hearing and seeing and may even be punished, but still he continues to steal. So there are different situations, there are different behavioral aspects which we all are accustomed with, which we all have seen in our life, like not in theft, but in different activities. Someone gets angry and misbehaves with another devotee. And that devotee understands, oh, damn, I shouldn't have done this. It's a Vaishnava aparadh. Sorry. And again, over a period of time, different scenario, different situation, different festival, again they get angry, again they shout. This is a tendency. It keeps on going. Even if such a person atones, right, punishment, and is punished by the government, he will again commit theft as soon as he comes out of the jail. If punishment in jail is considered atonement, what is the benefit of such atonement? Thus Parikshit Maharaj inquires. So when Sukadev Goswami sees the questions coming out from a very realized soul, Sukadev Goswami first gave Parikshit Maharaj these answers of punishment, atonement. But when Sukadev Goswami's these answers to Parikshit Maharaj's question did not satisfy Parikshit Maharaj, now Sukadev Goswami is changing his answer because sages see how the recipient can receive, what is their threshold of understanding. For someone, 1 plus 1, 2 is very difficult. That's the recipient's standard of understanding. That's the recipient's intake. That's how he can take it. But for someone, sine cos tan theta is easy. So for that person, the teacher will have a different explanation. So in a similar way, the Munis also sees the understanding of the recipient, and based on that, they give the answer. So drishtva shrutabhyam yat papam jnana api atmano hitam karoti bhuyo vivashah prayaschitam atho katham क्वचिन् निवर्तते भद्रः क्वचित् चरति तत् पुनः. See, पुनः means coming again. प्रायश्चितम् अतो पार्थम् मन्ये कुंजरा शौचवत्. So he compared atonement to a elephant's bath. Every time it's like confession box, right? You go to the confession box in churches. You go and say, I've done this, I've done that, and I'm really sorry. I'm ready to take the atonement. Confession, you're confessing. But would you go to a confession box and say, I'm going to do this activity and I'm going to confess in advance? Is there a concept of confessing in advance? No. Confessing is a reactive action. You've done something wrong and then you react and then you feel like, oh, atonement, I want to do something about it. It is not something which is you take it in advance and keep doing it. But that's how this world is happening. That's how people are doing at the name of Harinam also. So I'm talking about church, but even at the name of Harinam, people are making those mistakes. And then they realize and then they ask for atonement, which is like an elephant's bath. So elephant goes into the nice water, cleans himself, and when the elephant come out of the water, they think, oh, it's too wet, I want to dry. So they don't have a towel. What they do is mud on their body. But the mud is actually making them dirty. That's a different story. So that's elephant bathing. Elephant may take a nice bath in a river, but as soon as it comes out of the bank, it throws dirt all over its body. When what then is the value of its bathing? Similarly, many spiritual practitioners chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and at the same time commit many forbidden things, thinking that their chanting will counteract their offenses. And I don't have to repeat this. All of us here know that for very well that every action of ours, which is negative, it's going to affect nobody but our own Guru Maharajas. So we are wholly and solely responsible for our wrongdoings. But when it comes to any good deed, we should be able to give it to our Guru Maharajas, that because of their blessing, we are able to do something good. Of the 10 offenses, one can commit while chanting the holy name of the Lord. These offenses these offense is called this offense is called namno balad yasya hi papa buddhihi, committing sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Similarly, certain Christians go to church and confess their sins, thinking that confessing their sin before a priest and performing some penances will relieve them from the result of their weekly senses, which we just discussed. As soon as Saturday is over, Sunday comes, they again begin their sinful activities, expecting to be forgiven the next Saturday. This kind of prashchita, atonement, is condemned by Parikshit Maharaj, the most intelligent king of his time. So he's saying, this atonement, okay, fine, the state gives punishment, put them on a jail. That's not it. That's not it. I need more understanding. So now Sukadev Goswami is telling this kind of prashchita atonement is condemned. Sukadev Goswami, equally intelligent as befitting the spiritual master of Maharaj Parikshit, answered the king and confirmed that his statement concerning atonement was correct. Yes, you're right. This atonement is not going to take away the propensity to make that sin again. The propensity is going to stay the same. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasovarjam rasoprasya param drishtva nivartate. Until and unless you have that param drishtva, the param divine taste, the higher taste, that propensity of making wrong sin will be there. A sinful activity cannot be counteracted by a pious activity. We have to be very, very careful on that. Thus, real Prayashchit atonement is awakening of dormant Krishna consciousness. This is the gist of everything. We can't suppress our desire, we can't dovetail our desire unless we have understood that the desires cannot be completely suppressed or sublimate, but it can be it can be moved or shifted to Krishna consciousness. And everyone in our heart, we have this Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada used the word dormant. It's sitting dormant in our heart. We just need it to clean it. It's like a glass which is covered, which has not been cleaned for ages. Just like how Gundicha Mandir is closed for 1 year, and every Rath Yatra it opens. And when it opens, the first thing we have to do is cleaning. The heart is the same. We have the jewel like Krishna consciousness sitting in our heart, which is covered by a lot of dirt. And by Harinam, when we clean that dirt, that jewel is able to show its shine on us. And it's like a room which has got this jewel sitting. The room is like our body, the jewel is Krishna consciousness, and the door is our mind. When we close our mind and not engage the mind in a right context, the mind will always feel like, when will I open the door? When will I open the door? And even if while thinking, the mind leaves the door a little bit cracked open, the Maya sitting outside will rush inside and she will do her magic because she's more sincere and she's practicing Krishna consciousness more sincerely than us. So she always wins. We don't. So the real atonement involves coming to real knowledge. And for this, there is a standard process. When one follows a regulated, hygienic process, he does not fall sick. It's like common sense in life also. A human being is meant to be trained according to certain principle to revive his original knowledge. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. So in the PowerPoint, Parikshit Maharaj's question that atonement is not enough. There are three analogies which were given to us, like the police and the thief, the confession by people in general in churches, and all these things are like elephant path. You're actually achieving nothing. And then the real atonement, which on the request of Parishad Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami is giving, is training according to the regulative principles and methodical life. When you train, the training might be very hard, but when you follow it with the regulative principle as per Shastras. And in our life, it is really difficult for us to understand Shastras. We will say, yes, we have got Shastras, but how? So that regulative principles and training given by Guru. With Guru's permission, with Guru's instruction, when we train our life, Pancharatrika Tapasya, which is given by Narad Muni, Rupa Goswami's method, which is like Upadeshamrita, that's the counteract of atonement, right? So the question was, I hope you're making it sense, right? Question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami is giving, yes, the analogy of jail, going a criminal going to jail is the analogy. It's like an elephant bath. So now he's giving the right essence. So these are the two which I have just said, training and pancharatrika, tapasya. Now these are all atonements, like traditional tapasya or Rupa Goswami's method, which is another tapasya. This is all an application. We can put it into an application if we understand what these atonements are telling us, do's and don'ts. To understand the do's, we need to understand the don'ts as well. Then only we can able to differentiate between what needs to be done and what needs to be avoided. So practice bhakti under Guru's guidance. It's not like whimsically, I want to think of getting close to Krishna, so I'm going to go to temple every day, and I don't need anyone to make me understand Krishna because I've got books. I've got Bhagavad Gita. That attitude is not going to help. That is like you are suppressing your desire. It's not sublimating and it's not dovetailing. Dovetailing is like, yes, I want to get close to Krishna and I want to know what I can do so that my understanding and my relationship with Krishna gets more stronger. I need a guru. I need a guru who can guide me, and that too a live guru, because only a live guru can hear me out with my questions and can give me as per my subjective questions, as per my subjective circumstances. Because the way I'm living my life is very different than the way you are living your life. Your challenges may be different, but there are challenges. And don'ts, when we understand what are the don'ts, like four regulative principles, if we understand the four regulative principles, there's understanding of how we can do the do's. These are the don'ts. No, we should not do it. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, and no meat eating. By no illicit sex, I'm maintaining cleanliness. By no gambling, I'm maintaining truthfulness. And by no meat eating, I'm maintaining compassion. I'm I'm not giving money to those places where they are killing cows, killing meats, killing fish, egg. So, no meat eating is actually compassion. You're bringing compassion in your heart. So if the first thing is you're not giving your money in the place where it is ahimsa, there is ahimsa happening, the first thing comes in your heart is, oh, poor thing, I don't want to eat because they are their life. They have the life. They have got the same living rights as me. Compassion. And the last one is no gambling. Did I say gambling? I think I said gambling. No intoxication. The last one is the no intoxication. And no intoxication is, um, what is no intoxication? Anybody?
I think justice, Mataji. I mean, truthfulness.
No. Truthfulness is no gambling.
Oh, okay. So,
Controlling of senses, no intoxication.
Cleanliness or
Cleanliness is no illicit sex.
austerity.
austerity is
Austerity.
austerity.
So remember in the Shata Goswami's story, I did put that in one of the slides that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to all his disciples, follow my instruction, but do not forget to follow these three things. One is Jivodaya, Sankirtana, Harinam, and the last one is what we just said, Tapasya. There has to be austerity in our life. Easy life will never give us a good result. If you really want to grow in your life, you have to have this austerity in your life, some or the way, some or the other way. So those are the four regulative principles. Then comes the traditional tapasya. Traditional tapasya is like, like back in India, how we were raised. Celibacy, mind control, shush, don't talk in front of elders. Elders are talking, you should not talk, shush, 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 suppressing. Yeah. Cleanliness. Oh, you've come from outside, wash your hands, wash your feet. Oh, you've eaten, wash your mouth, wash your feet, wash your hands. And then austerity. So every puja, people will make fast. They will make ekadashi food, fasting. But if asked, why are we fasting? Everyone does it. It's puja. We are pleasing the Lord. We are pleasing the Devi or Devtas. So we have to do it. Austerity. But that is also a kind of tapasya. The whole thing is kind of tapasya, but we hardly understand the meaning behind it. Whereas when we follow Pancharatrika tapasya, which is given by Rupa Goswami's method in Upadeshamrita, we understand why we are following this. We understand why we are following four regulative principles. When we understand and follow it, it makes it more easy. Or when we don't understand and follow it, it makes it fanatism. So truthfulness and then renunciation. I think renunciation is also one of the part of no intoxication. No intoxication, renunciation and austerity both comes in there. And then yoga asanas. So in olden days, yoga and asanas were part of their life. Just like how every morning you will get ready, pack up your bag, go to office. In olden days, yoga and asana was also like get up, do your morning chores, and do at least 1 hour of yoga and asana. That's a part of life by default. Anyone. It doesn't need to be a grahastha or no, any ashram or any varna. Everyone used to do it. That's an activity. So this is all what Parikshit Maharaj's question to Shukadev Goswami, and Shukadev Goswami has given the real atonement. They're not just punishing, but dovetailing their desires and understanding it carefully so that they don't make the same mistake again. Such a methodical life is described as tapasya. one can be gradually elevated to the standard of real knowledge or Krishna consciousness. It takes time. It's not like in a flick of time. I started today wearing kantimala, from tomorrow I'll be a good devotee. No, it's a practice. By practicing austerity and celibacy, brahmacharya, by controlling the mind, by controlling the senses, by giving up one's possession in charity, by being avowedly truthful, by keeping clean, by practicing yoga asana. However, if one is fortunate enough to get the association of a pure devotee, he can easily surpass all the practices for controlling the mind by the mystic yoga process, simply by following the regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, refraining from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. These are don'ts. And by engaging in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead under the direction of bona fide spiritual master. This easy process is being recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami. If we read this, don't you think how easy Srila Prabhupada has made this bhakti life? Isn't it? Otherwise, if I think about how I was raised, in what culture was it? It was so rigid, so hard, and so imposed on. This is not imposed on. This is just explained. Now it's up to you. After listening to this thing, you want to voluntarily be a part of Krishna consciousness? Come on. If you don't want to, just want to come and hang out, that's also fine. Srila Prabhupada has made it really easy. That's why anyone can take it. Any age, any color, any country, any religion followers can take it. First, one must control his speaking power. That's an urge. You feel like to speak whatever. You see how Donald Trump says he's the leader of a big country, and he comes in front of so many people and he says whatever he wants. He doesn't even realize how it's going to affect and how it has already affected the country. Power of speech and the control of speaking power. Those two are totally different, but if followed, that can make and break a country or a human or a consciousness. Everyone has, every one of us has the power of speech. As soon as we get an opportunity, we begin to speak. मौका मिला कि नहीं बोलने लग जाते हैं. If we do not speak about Krishna consciousness, we speak about some sort of nonsense. So that's why it is said that if you really like to speak, it's better you speak about Krishna Katha. Manipujita Mathaji, would you like to speak?
Sorry, what?
Would you like to read?
Which Mathaji?
Here.
One.
A toad in a field speaks by croaking.
A toad in a field speaks by croaking, and similarly, everyone who has a tongue wants to speak, even if all he has to say is nonsense. The croaking of the toad, however, simply invites the snake, please come here and eat me. Nevertheless, although it is inviting death, the toad goes on croaking. The talking of materialistic men in and impersonalist Mayavadi philosophers may be compared to the croaking of frogs. They are always speaking nonsense and thus inviting death to catch them. Controlling speech, however, does not mean self imposed silence, the external process of mana. As Mayavadi philosophers think, silence may appear helpful for some time, but ultimately it proves a failure. By contrast, the controlled speech advocated by Srila Rupa Goswami is the positive process of Krishna Katha, engaging the speaking process in glorifying the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Tongue can thus glorify the name, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Lord. The preacher of Krishna Katha is always beyond the clutches of death. This is the significance of controlling the urge to speak.
So Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he is talking about the attitude rather than the action. What is the attitude of a speaker? Right? The person who is speaking, not preacher, the speaker, whoever wants to speak, likes to speak. There are so many people like me who likes to speak, talk. But what are we talking is going to build our consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada, in a specific context, he's talking about sense control and mind control. It is very difficult. Devotee need to be very determined that even if I want to speak, what topic I'm taking. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Lord is conquered by the love of those who have conquered their senses. So, controlling the mind is the foremost in the battlefield. If you have to enter a battlefield, you will plan it out in a way that which one is the first one to counter. So now, in this battle of the urges, the first one is the controlling of senses. Now, it is difficult to control the senses if you haven't controlled the mind. So before even you go and attack the sense, it's better to attack and take the mind in your control rather than mind taking you in their control. And also, it is said that Lord is like mesmerized. Lord is kind of a puppet in front of a person who has given up his life, and the foremost thing, who has controlled his senses. In Chada Goswami, we have seen how Lord comes into kind of a rescue to help his own disciple, like a mother comes in and protects the child. It's like a game. Nobody can control God, but there are devotees who are selfless and they have no desire to control the Lord, but Lord gets controlled by them because they have controlled their senses. Their love is so pure, it's undistracted, conquered by such love, the control of mind and senses. God is controlled by those who have controlled their senses. Easier to make it, but very hard to actually apply it in our life. If instructions are not followed, the spiritual advancement will be much tougher. It's like driving on road. If you follow the instruction, the drive becomes easy. If you don't follow the instruction, you're not only going to risk your own life, you will be in hazard to others as well. So it's the same way, uncontrolled mind. The restlessness or fickleness of mind, the manovega, is controlled when one can fix his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. So we are talking about too much of control, control, control. But how can we control that? What is the rein which can control? It's when we put our mind into a focus point. And that focus point has to be Krishna. It cannot be name, fame, beauty. It has to be Krishna. Because once you put your mind into Krishna or Krishna consciousness, then it is easy to train your mind. Otherwise, it's very hard. It's like anchored boat. A boat which is anchored, this analogy can be explained in different way. But in this way, in this context, in this text, the analogy of a boat which is anchored. Now, a boat may be very strong, very good, but the rower inside the boat is not trying really hard, taking the boat out. But what if the boat is anchored? Even if how strong he is, he won't be able to move that boat out of that dock. To move that boat out of that dock, obviously we need his strength. We need the row, the stick to row. And the last and the most important, we need to unplug the anchor. We need to take out the anchor. So that anchor is actually the hankering of the senses. And how do we take it out? We take it out by break free from the shackle of the sense control, by mind control. We have crossed. Takesh Prabhu, where have you reached? Have you reached airport already?
I'm in the plane. It will be taking off very soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll stop here.
No, I mean,
Prabhu,
we'll still
when
take another 10 minutes maybe. Yeah.
so it's open for any question answers, any discussion. Because I've spoken too much. I like to speak, but not that much. Raghuvanshi Prabhu, is Mataji with you? Do you have you, were you able to attend?
Yes, Mataji, I'm able to attend. I was able to listen. The only problem
Oh,
I had was, from morning up until 8, I had this Prabhupada dress change service, Mataji, on Sunday. So that's where, the clash happened. Otherwise, after 8, I'm available. And I just came back home
okay.
from the
So how are
temple.
you going to do it moving on?
I will have to
Because
check,
now,
Mataji. Maybe I'll change it to Saturday instead of Sunday, the Prabhupada service.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah. So what's the time there now?
It's 8:12. Now the difference is 3 hours, Mataji.
Mm, okay. Any question, or do you want to add something which I might have missed?
Oh, no, Mataji. I don't want to
I
add,
haven't
but, it
finished.
was
Oh
very
my God, it's a
interesting.
long purport. Manipurjita Mataji, Subhadra Mataji, Rakesh Prabhu.
Mataji, just this, about the speech thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is very hard because, not for me. I'm just saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
so thing is, sometimes for me also, like, sometimes you meet and then as naturally you speak something, and sometimes you hurt also in that naturally, but it is not like meant to be hurted.
No.
And then in that way, how we can control the speech, because you have to be, then if you're very, like, there's a border, like, when you speak, you speak naturally, but if you want to speak like, artificially, like, just make a attempt, okay, I'm going to speak like this only to this person because this
Mm,
person is not going to take in the way
mm,
which,
mm,
so it is very difficult, right? And then also the second thing is like, it's most amongst the Matajis, like, there's a lot of gossiping thing going
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Like, so I try to avoid that, and rather than go and, like, for me, I try to avoid, and that's, I love to do the service, like, dancing or something. But there are some things which also we need to come out of your, like speaking, like, speaking, like, you need to pour it out. That's why
Mm,
you meet devotees, you
mm,
speak, because that is the only 1 day or 2 day you get association with the devotees. Other than you're just engrossed with your own household things. So
mm,
this all comes in my mind, and how much we can control, how much we have to speak. It's just like, where to put the border, and
mm,
whether we need to avoid that person or not, because sometimes we speak and then we don't speak what is glorifying, or which is flowery words. Sometimes it hurts, even if you feel that is flowery, but other person might think it is, take it another way.
mm.
How to manage these things, and your focus should be to Krishna only. So just because this topic is about the speech, that's why
Yeah. I heard one of the lecture of Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, and Maharaj was saying you need to have, like in science, we talk about litmus test. Yeah. Very quickly, in nanosecond, in your mind, behind your mind, before you open your mouth and, like react, before you react to certain situations, circumstances, there are three questions you should ask. Number one, whatever I'm going to speak, is it going to be good for the person in front of me? Hitam. And again, I'm adding this point. Huh? In this context, gossip we are talking about, it is a burning topic. When we are engaged in gossip, we need to understand why we are engaged in that gossip. Is it something wrong with me that I am engaged in gossip? Or is it something wrong with that person? Again, I'm not putting point on it, but trying to understand that sometimes gossip is something which might help that person. which might, how, I'll tell you. Someone is saying something wrong about another person, and you happen to be pulled into that conversation. You come into that conversation and then you say, that person, ho gaya, bol liya, kya mila isse? What have you attained out of that one? It's kind of a knockout, no? Why are you wasting your time? There's no point of, talking. If you can help that other person, definitely we'll discuss and we'll go and help that other person. But if you can't help that other person, and whatever that other person has done, you're talking about it, what's the point? You're wasting your time and my time. So it's better, stop it here. So hitam is very important. How much good it can do to you and to the other person. But when you're opening your mouth, it's better to test it, that is it good for that other person. Okay, fine, I have checked. It is good for the other person. I want to still talk. The second check is that person going to take instruction from you? Yeah, are you the right authoritative person to talk about it? It's like someone came in the temple with a short skirt, yeah, wearing short skirt. And one Mathaji looked at it and she had this urge to speak. She had this urge. She just wanted to go to this girl and say, don't come in temple wearing short skirt. This is not nice. Now tell me one thing. Isn't it good that the girl has come to temple? We should see the first thing, right? It's good that the girl has come to the temple. Now she has wore short skirt because definitely she doesn't know. The knowledge is not there that she shouldn't be coming in a temple with a short skirt. Now, this girl is new to the temple. I am quite old in this temple. I see she's wearing that. Do I have the authority to tell her? And will she even take my instruction? Maybe tomorrow she will not even come. But because today she was allowed and people have not made any fun or comment on her, maybe tomorrow she will come and maybe tomorrow she might not wear the short skirt. You never know that, right? But understanding the authority, first we have to make friends with that person. A newcomer comes into the temple. It is our duty, it is an obligation for us, each one of us, to say, Hare Krishna, how are you? How is the weather? How was your travel to temple? Thank you for coming to the temple. These are icebreakers to start a conversation. And when you start a conversation, then it becomes easy for that person to mingle with you. And then naturally that person gives you the authority to instruct them. So, are we the right authority? Authority is the second part. The third part is hitam, authority, and what was the third part? There is a third part, I forgot. So hitam is as long as my talk is going to benefit that person into God consciousness. And have I got the right authority to tell that person about something? And the last part is if in a situation where I am in and I'm not going to, I don't have an authority and I'm not going to speak, which is going to make benefit to that person, it's better to leave that place in a good way. Again, we don't have to commit any Vaishnava aparad by saying, oh, I don't want to stay in this. These people, you people are talking wrong about other people. I'm not going to stay. Just say, Hare Krishna, I have got other things to do. That's what, in a call, we also tend to say, Hare Krishna, can I call you later on? And that later on never comes. So I don't know how people make that comment. Can I call you later on? So it has happened with me. I was in the middle of something and that something is not that great. But I don't want to talk to this particular devotee. Because all that devotee does is, what are you doing? Where are you doing? Why are you doing? All that why and why. Sometimes you don't have that mood to answer that whys and things. So I wanted to put the phone down, but I couldn't put the phone down by saying, I'll call you later on. And after whatever I made an excuse and I left the phone on, everyone in my house were laughing. They were saying, why did you have to say that? For some people, even, dovetailing the words is hard. So understand what you're good at and do that rather than just copying someone. It's very easy for someone Hare Krishna, I'm quite busy at the moment, middle of something. Can I call you later? And that can I call you later never comes. I think you're sitting there thinking, oh, they will come, they will call you back. And I know I'm not going to call this person later on. So I couldn't put that phrase in. Can I call you later on? Be honest. The third one is honest. And the third one comes with what do you call that? In a same way, in our ISKCON, we use that word quite a lot. Simultaneously, similar, simultaneous, something like it is saying something and it is contradictory itself only. Can anyone help me, please?
You're saying indirectly something, but it is meant to be
No. There's a particular word. I'm just missing that word.
being honest, but still like
Yeah.
yeah, not hurting person, right?
Yeah. No, not hurting. Like I'm telling you, Mataji, don't do it. And I'm telling you, Mataji, do it. Matlab opposite, and my words are opposite to each other, but it's making different context. There is a word, I'm not getting it.
Maybe other devotees can know. Subhadra Mataji.
Yeah, please help. Mataji, or maybe I'm not able to tell.
That means you're being honest and then
Lying also.
you're telling and you're still lying. Um,
Yeah, there is a word, and if I put that
I
word, it's easy.
yeah, I can tell you because I used to
Some
I,
Acharya, some also.
I don't know that example word, but yeah, Manorini Mataji, you have that word?
The person is asking to do, but same way he's telling that he's not like he's not doing it, but he's asking others to do it. Is that the point that he is telling?
Yeah, Mataji, but there is a name to it. Like Krishna consciousness, or even practicing Krishna consciousness is something like that. In one
Hare
context, we
Krishna,
say,
Mataji.
yeah, you were breaking up, Mataji. It says your bandwidth is low.
I think she is a temple.
Yeah, she is. She's doing seva, Dalan seva.
I remember one example, like I used to call that person and invite or something, and that person used to always say, instead of saying no, that is the example of honesty. Actually, I would love to come, but I have some other commitments. But at the same time, that person is available for other things. So it's like, just giving no answer, but in the way where you are, it seems you're busy for that person, but not busy for other thing.
Mm.
That this is the example, but I don't know the word.
Yeah. When I say, you will all say, oh, we always give this word.
Yeah, it should be. We'll find out.
So 3 things in a speech should be taken into consideration before you even open your mouth. So Srila Bhakti Rasamrit Swami, he was saying that quickly when something happens, right, and it's an urge, someone is, say suppose someone is insulting you, it's an urge. Now you need to speak up for yourself. Is that speak what you're going to do now is going to benefit that person? No. Okay. Have I got the right authority? Of course I've got the right authority. He is, blaming me. He's doing something, he or she is rightly encroaching on me. So I have got the full authority. Fine. I got one take. Will I be honest if I open my mouth? Now, sometimes I may not be honest. And sometimes my honesty may be very, very detrimental to someone else. So that honesty is that word I was trying to find out, which I still can't. So that honesty has to be placed based on time and circumstances, and obviously place. If you're in a place like there are so many instances in our shastras where it's a hermitage and good people came to this person's refuge and asked them, "Can you please protect us from um, from someone?" And that someone comes encroaching as well and ask, "Have you seen these two people?" Now, see, honesty here, right? We don't know who is right and who is wrong. The person who has taken refuge or the person who is asking. For us, the dharma is the person who has taken refuge, we have to protect them. That is our dharma. That is our duty. As a part of duty, we are protecting them by saying sometimes dishonest, by saying, "No, I haven't seen that person." You saved someone's life. Now then later on you think who is right and who is wrong. Then you ask him, "What have you done and why have you taken refuge?" That's a different story. But I'm talking about honesty here. How much honesty is going to benefit someone is the prime aspect of our speech we should be thinking of. So if we take Maharaj's instruction, I think there would be a lot of control in our speech when we make it. First is it hitam? Is it an authoritative one? And will I be honest? And will my honesty will detrimental to someone? Two things.
Yeah, and one example I can recollect now, I just now, was Jada Bharat. He was actually born like third life of Bharat Maharaj.
Correct.
Then he was so intelligent within himself. He knew he had so immense of knowledge and all about Krishna consciousness, but then he didn't speak for his half of the life.
Hmm.
Then suddenly there was a situation where he has to speak, but when till then the people used to think him like unintelligent person, like
Hmm.
what you say, that mud, yeah,
Mood.
so more moda, yeah, yeah. And then then when he spoke only about Krishna.
Hmm.
So that is one example. I mean, I'm just taking personally that
Hmm.
where I need to speak, where what we have to speak.
Yeah.
So
I hope you got the answer or still not satisfied.
no, I'm happy because today only in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, there was one question came to Prabhuji in Melbourne temple.
Hmm.
Similar question, like and then what he gave the answer is very nice. I liked it, which we all know actually. You also know that if someone comes and says something to you or something, and they just want to you know always blasphemize you and all everything, so that means you feel like offended, okay, there's something going on. But then that devotee had similar problems, so what he said is you need to find out uh, more transcendental and pure soul for you to get association with.
Hmm.
Think that is not the correct person for you to have association,
Hmm.
which might lead to fall down of yours, sadhana
Hmm.
or something. Then you just, okay, you don't have to offend him, but you just
Hmm.
try to go away from him or her, and then you just do whatever your bhakti is there, but with the right
Hmm.
person and right elevated person. So, like
Hmm.
whom you feel you encourage in the bhakti.
Hmm.
In that way, you're not disturbed with your bhakti. That is what the
Yeah.
answer is. That is also one thing I learned from that.
See, even in material life, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. Yeah.
Forget about devotional aspect for a couple of seconds. Even in material life, if a girl wants to look for a boy, what she looks? She looks a man who can respect her, and with the company of that man, this girl can flourish. So if we put these two aspects in in our devotional life, who would definitely engage in an association with any devotee who would respect me as I am, and who in their association I will flourish. I will flourish in my devotional service. If the person is not able to give me those two things, how am I going to continue relationship with that person? And why am I sharing my secrets of heart to that person? There's no way that person is going to understand, because he or she doesn't respect. And there's no way I'm going to get a thrift answer or thrift solution from that person, because that person, under that person's association, all I can see is chastisement, disrespectful behavior, or even if not disrespectful, if that's too harsh, that person not even understands my heart. That person don't even understand my situation, and that person is only blaspheming. So why would I go to that person? Because in this age, it is very easy to get distracted. And if in devotional service we are always around with people who are not encouraging us in our devotional service, it is very hard to be in devotional service. It's very easy. I have started taking Saturdays Bhakti Sabha. It's a very initial class for anyone who just walks on to temple, comes in temple. So I've started taking. But we had these festivals, right? Janmashtami, then Srila Prabhupada's Jayanti, then one more thing, Radha Ashtami. And because of that, 3 weeks I couldn't take class in that meeting room. In ISKCON temple, we have that meeting room. And for decoration, for gala and seva, we need room, we need space. So they used to take that meeting room area entirely. There's no class. And I miss those 3 classes. All the people who used to come regularly, I literally missed them. They are no longer coming. It's very, it's very hard to hold on to this devotional service. And I'm talking like that. I am initiated. But even at this stage, person gets initiated, forget about my stage, even further away, even at the stage of when people are good enough to give initiation to others, at that stage also people are falling down. What to speak of people who are new to temple? So that's why association needs to be very carefully picked. Don't judge, but pick the right association. And then slowly, slowly, you can give association to others.
Uh, I'll tell my experience. During this 16 years, I have felt personally multiple times just to leave ESCOM,
Mm,
and multiple times because of so many reasons and very small reasons, you know. And I had accumulated everything in me because I know what I am, right? And at
mm,
home, what I know. Sometimes we know what we are at home, but then you have that identity, you know, and then sometimes your identity is like slashed by other person, you know. And I
mm,
feel like, oh, because I'm in Krishna consciousness, these people are doing this and they are commenting on me. So I used to feel, is it correct or not? But I remember Bhakti Charu Maharaj, which I feel like he's my second guru after him passing, because he has guided me through his instructions, indirect instructions. And then he always used to say, you know, when he was giving the instruction, like initiation, never leave ESCOM.
mm,
That it is there in my mind. Even Kadam Kanan Maharaj, when he used to say that even if someone throws me out of the temple, I'll sit outside the temple, but never leave ESCOM. So
mm.
these examples were there in my mind, and no, anything happens, but never leave Radha Gopinath. You
Yeah.
know, because that is what has stayed in my mind, and that's why I could sustain. Otherwise, I'm a person like, if I just say no, and that is a final no for me. I never look back. But
So
for me,
nice.
somehow my Guru Maharaj, and you know, with their mercy, they're pulling me. No, you have to come here. You have to stay here. So
Yeah.
that is really difficult, you know, Mataji. As you said, it is very easy to fall down, but very difficult to sustain and maintain in the state where we are.
Yeah.
And what I have what I know from Padma Shri Mataji and all, uh, doesn't matter what Prabhupada has done for us,
That matters.
should respect that, you know.
Mm,
And for him as an idol, we should stay in ISKCON.
mm.
whatever the hard struggle he has taken at the age of 70,
Mm.
when I don't know, but I have seen, Baicharan series and all. You feel like crying, and then you feel the importance of significance of what he has done till now and how we came into ISKCON. So that
Mm.
makes you feel like, no, we have to stay here. We can't go out of it. But it is very difficult, Mataji, as you said, to maintain this path.
Mm.
It's
Of
easy. The
course.
path is process is easy. It's not,
Mm.
but to maintain it, because there are a lot of fall down, like,
Mm.
here and there, you listen, and even sometimes you are incorrect, you are, but there should be proper guidance also to correct you, not like, harsh, that, oh,
Mm.
no, you can't do anything, you just go away. So that is very, very, very important to have in the temple atmosphere.
Okay. I did promise that it will go 1 hour, but if anyone wants to drop off, please do, because I just don't want to make false statements. I did say 1 hour, but it's open for everyone. Mataji, I want to share one of my very personal experience. It happened when my son is now 15 years, when my son was like 3 years old, so a long time ago, right? I was new. I was new to ISKCON, a very new person, devotee, not devotee, person
Mataji,
coming
if
to
I
temple.
may interrupt, shall I stop recording, Mataji?
No, Prabhu, keep this one because I want to share something. And
Okay,
it is personal, but keep this one. I'll let you know when to stop it. Thank you for
sure,
asking,
Mataji.
Prabhu. So yeah, I was new to this ISKCON. And this Mathaji, who's a very senior leader in our congregation, she knows I'm a mother. I'm not working full time, so I have got time. But I was mother of two kids, and both were toddlers. One was 5, one was 3, something like that. And I was good in, not good, but at least I was knitting, right? So when I was knitting, I have time. This Mataji, very genuinely, obviously, she would see that this woman can help. So she came to me and she said, would you knit for Radha Gopinath? And at that time, I was going through some struggles in my own life, my own personal life. I couldn't take that service. I said, Mataji, I've got little one. I also have got a part-time job. I won't be able to do it. So it's a genuine part from my side also and from that other Mataji also to come and ask. But here's the point. As you're talking about harshness, right? How we travel till so far, how we stick to it. Here's the point. Now the Mataji comes, we both are standing to each other. Now she come back with another argument and another saying is, Mataji, I'm giving you such a nice opportunity. It's a lifetime opportunity. People don't take it. And it's so rare opportunity to take it. Your life will be flourishing. She's not saying lie. She's right. But that situation, that time was wrong. And that situation when my mindset was not fully matured, my mindset was not fully positive, I was getting instructed by a random leader. See, authority, right? They were authority. But are they authority to me? No. So that Mataji kept on saying that I'm doing something wrong. Now tell me what? I don't know if in my situation someone else would have been, what they might have thought. Shattered, guilty. Or they might have taken that service, shouted at their own children, made the house environment polluted. Why? Because she's overwhelming herself. She is taking something which she knows she can't do it. But because someone, authority have pushed this thing onto her. So things like that, no one is wrong, Mataji. Please try to understand. I'm not blaming the other Mataji who's a leader. And I was a young devotee who has come to the temple. I'm just watching and I'm just learning. And again, we are coming from India. We all have learned this so far. Especially coming from Bengali family, I have seen these congregational dramas. I've seen these congregational things, how things goes on, how people blame at each other. It's nothing different than corporate world. But, more sophisticated, on the name of Ma, on the name of Devi and Devtas, we make some mistakes. And we carry on that path of ruling on to you. I'm right, you're wrong. See, this is the attitude. You're not doing it. Mataji, I'm giving you such a nice service. You're not doing it. You're going to miss it, Mataji. It's like a sin. By saying no to that Mataji, I have made a sin. And enforcing onto me. See, this is how people break. And it is very difficult. That's why we need someone to speak. We need someone to release our heart. And it's, even in Upadeshamrita, it is going to, you all know, and in text 3, it will be very nicely elaborated by Rupa Goswami that how important this whole mentorship program is.
Yeah, and then we need main thing what we need, I feel, I don't know, correct me, is love and compassion towards others.
Yes, of course.
That is the topmost thing we need in ESCON, and other, even I heard from others also that this is lacking. So when you have a compassion, you will understand the other person, and then you won't impose on it, or you won't be harsh. You'll understand the situation. It doesn't matter if that person is lying or making up or something, but you need to keep your compassion and love. That is what Prabhupada had shown towards
Correct.
when he was in US. He was nothing. I'm writing a script on drama for the Prabhupada's this. So I know I am just going through that, this
Mm.
videos. And I can see Prabhupada, how he dealt with the Western people. He
Mm.
didn't deal with like harsh thing. He showed his love and compassion. So I think for me, that is a topmost thing which we need. And then the person, if they understand your love and compassion, obviously the person can do anything for you. If and then suppose you start with the imposing, then the person will just go away and break. As you said that that girl came with the short dress. There is a way to deal with it. You can't just say it directly. um, you can't.
Rather than directly seeing her, make
Yeah.
friends with her, and then
Yes.
slowly teach her the etiquettes of the temple.
Yeah.
No one comes with full understanding to the temple. Some people even walk in with their shoes. We have to say, Hare Krishna, sorry. Can you please open the shoes outside? It's written outside nicely. Shoes, leave the shoes outside. There are racks of shoes. You can even see people are opening their shoes outside, but still, different mindset. You have no idea what that individual is going through, what the torments of torture his or she is going through. They've entered inside. But rather than getting angry, be humble, ask them. Madhuri, the point you are saying about compassion and love, I've heard this so many times, but I really don't understand why people can't give compassion and love. Why it is so hard. Can we break this chain? How this chain is like, if I haven't got love in my life, if I haven't been given compassion in my life, there's no way I can give that to someone else. To give compassion and love, first of all, I need to have it, right? Now let's take example of Srila Prabhupada. Was Srila Prabhupada given compassion by anyone other than his own Gurudev? No, all his god brothers used to make fun of him. There was no compassion given to him. Was there any love? His own wife left him. He didn't have any love. So if we see in that context, he was like barren, nothing, no compassion, no love. But where did he got it from? He got it from his Srila Gurudev. So we all have that love. Let's not ask for any more rather than share it. Let's share it. Let's not see what others have given us. See, we all are, most of us are like disciples of Srila Prabhupada's heritage, right? We are so lucky that Srila Prabhupada, we can call Srila Prabhupada as Dadu. He's there. He's not like 4 or 5 generations ahead of us. So we have got that love and compassion. Let's not complain. Let's share it. Even if we haven't got it from any XYZ devotee, we have got it from Srila Prabhupada. Let's share it. So that makes it more strong and prevalent when we come to a grave situation where we are really getting angry on someone. And if we remember that Srila Prabhupada has given us this, Can't I share some compassion of Srila Prabhupada to him? And then open our mouth. And let's see how it works. We are going to be in nectar of instruction for a long time. We can share them. Yes, Prabhuji, you can stop this.
Thank you, Mathaji.
Sure, Mathaji.
Thank you, Prabhu.